we have 3.4385. So you also take that same figure so that means the one for year 3 should be how much? The one for year 3 should give us which value? 3 points. 43. So confirm now in the table, the single period table, what should be 12% in year 1? %12% in year 1. %12% in year 1 should give us which figure? To 0.8929. 8929. How about year 2? 0.7972.
Yeah.
Then year 3 to 0.1118. Like that. So online, I hope you can trace those figures. So multiply, you get these values, you add. It should be able to give you the present value of the future benefits during the non-constant period. Get the present value of the future benefits during the non-constant period. So that is now for the non-constant period. We will also compute the present value of the future benefits. Now, during the constant period, during constant period, So during the constant period, we say that PO is supposed to be given by DO 1 plus G divided by KE minus G like that. So our PO is year 3. So DO is also year 3. So present value interest factor, because we need to convert it to the 12% also in year 3. So our DO is the dividend in year 3, which is 3.9543. Then 1 plus. So thereafter it was growing at what percent? We say that thereafter the growth rate is what percent? Thereafter, and 8% per annum thereafter. So it is 8%. Which is the same as 0.08. I hope you can see that here. You have seen the question. So you see after 15%, they say that 8% thereafter. Yeah, so KE is 12, which is 0.12. We also come out of that and multiply by 0.711. So get the two figures, we add them together to give us now the value of the share. So now you can get the value for the share. You can now get the value of the share. So during the non-constant, go to each figure.
8.2257.
8.2257. Then during the constant, it has given you each figure.
75.961.
So when you add them together, what is the value of that farm?
84.218.
So that now gives you the value of that farm. So the question had asked you to determine whether the share is currently fairly valued, undervalued, or overvalued. So they say after 5 years, they could be. So currently it is 40, but we shall use the share of the company RX to sell at the end of the 5 years from now. So the market price per share they will sell it from now is 60 what? 64. But the true value of the share is 84. So the share is undervalued by the market forces. So the market has given it 64, but the true value is 84. So the share is undervalued by the market forces. The share is undervalued by the market forces. The share has been undervalued by the market forces. So that is now how you are to deal with that part of the question. So maybe the last more question. I don't know whether we did this one for November 2017, question 3, part A, just confirm. Did we do the one for November 2017, question 3, part A? November 2017, question 3, part A. November 2017, question number 3, part A. Have we done the question? So November 2017, question number 3, part A. Can you access the question, those who are online? So people are saying yes. So we go through the question. We go through the question. The question reads that ordinary shares of Quaker Limited are currently selling at 60 shillings each at the Securities Exchange. So the company's price earning ratio is given as 6 times. So Quaker Limited adopts 40% payout ratio as it is dividend policy. It is predicted that the company's earnings and the dividend will grow at an annual rate of 10% for the first 3 years, then 5% for the next 2 years, and 4% thereafter in perpetuity. So the investors' minimum required rate of return is 12%. So required Roman letter 1, the current intrinsic value of the share. Roman letter 2, advise the investors based on the results obtained in a Roman letter 1 above. So let us start with dividend per share. So the approach for this one is different to get the dividend per share, like the way we have done this one. Dividend per share has not been given. The dividend per share has not been given. So the question gave you the concept of the price earning ratio. So price earning ratio, it is given by market price per share divided by earnings per share. So we make market price per share to be the subject. Market price per share to be the subject to be given by the price earning ratio multiplied by earnings per share relative. So simply take the price earning ratio. So price earning ratio was given. So the price earning ratio was given as 6 times. Even earning per share was given as what? So want to make the earning per share to be the subject. So we want to make earning per share to be the subject. That's what we are looking for. So earning per share should be given by market price per share divided by the price earning ratio. The price earning ratio. So that market price per share was given as 16. Then you divide by 6, which is going to give us 10. Then now, after that, you should come up with dividend per share. It is earnings per share multiplied by dividend payout ratio. Dividend payout ratio. So earning per share is given as 10. Dividend payout ratio is given as what percent? Yeah, so we get 40% of that. So this should give us which figure? So that is now the approach for this question on how you are to get the dividend per share. So now you can start with present value of the future benefit. Present value of the future benefits during the non-constant. Non-constant period. During the non-constant period. Present value of the future benefits during the non-constant period. So the year dividend per share, present value interest factor. So this time the cost of capital is given as 40%. It's 12%. then you get the present value. So you start off with the year one. So dividend per share is 4. It was meant to grow at what rate? Okay. So it is 10% for the first 3 years. That is the same as 0.1. 4.4. Year 2 also 4.4. Increase it by 10%. 4.84. Year 3, you also take 4.84. It is also growing at 10% for the first 3 years. 5.324. Then thereafter, they say that it will grow at what percent for the next 2 years. So when it comes to year 4, so this time it is growing at 5%. Five point 902. 5.592. And also year 5. So this one should be reaching 5.8697. Yeah, so now you will be checking the table. 12% year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Multiplied by those dividend per share, get your values at that point, then you add. So that's now during the non-constant. You do the same for during the constant, then you add them together. Do the same during the constant, then you will add them together. So present value of a future during constant. present value of the future benefits during constant period, whereby PO should be PO1 plus G divided by KE minus G. So this one is here 5, also that one here 5. Then next value interest factor 12% in year 5. So you do the same way we have done the other part. So dividend is 5.8697. So 1 plus G divided by your KE minus G. Then if you want to get those figures, then you will add them together. Add them together to give you the value of the share. Thereafter, they give you the growth rate in the question. So thereafter, it is growing at what percent? 4% should be the same as 0.0. 0.04. So this one is 0.12. 0.04. So what was there in the table? 12% in year 5. 5674. Yeah, so add those two figures together. Then you get the value of that share. So how much is the value for the share?
61.7.
So you get 61. So Roman letter 2, they were asking you to advise the investor based on the results. So that share is undervalued by the market. Because when you check through the question, the share is currently selling at 60. You see that? So you advise them that the share is undervalued by the market forces. Because what you have calculated, you have gotten 61, isn't it? But the market price is given as 60. So the share is undervalued by the market force. That's now in the Roman letter 2, where they were asking to advise. So the advice is that the share is undervalued by the market forces. The share is undervalued by the market forces. And therefore, the investor should buy the share. The share is undervalued by the market forces. And therefore, the investor should buy the share. So always when the share is undervalued, you buy. If it is overvalued, you sell. The market may pay and happen. Yes, my true value me 61. So you explain from the market perspective. You explain it from the market perspective. So the share has been undervalued by the market forces. Well, that's how it is selling in the market. The market, they are selling it at 60. But now you have calculated the true value, are getting 61. So the true value is more than the market value. So that means the market had undervalued the share. Because that is what is taking place. When you go to the stock exchange market, that share you will buy it at 60. But now the true value of the share is 61. So they have undervalued. When the share is undervalued, you buy. Because you get a gain. When the share is undervalued, you buy. But if it is overvalued and you have it, you rather sell. If it is overvalued, just sell. Because they have quoted like 70, but the true value is what you have calculated. So you see, when you sell, you get a profit. Yeah. So that's now the issue that we should be able to come up with. So that was now about the classification number 3 of the ordinary shares. So go back to your notes and check ordinary shares. We classified them into 3 categories. The next one is supposed to be which type? We say the ordinary shares were classified into 3 in relation to valuation. The first one was the constant. The second one is non-constant. So the last one was. So let us now go to the last one, which was C or number 3. We have named them as C and number 3. Roman letter 3. Yeah, so we go to 0 dividend growth rate ordinary shares. We now go to 0 dividend growth rate ordinary shares. We go to 0 dividend growth rate ordinary shares. 0 dividend growth rate ordinary shares. So under that, you summarize that these are ordinary shares. These are ordinary shares whose dividends will remain the same. Whose dividends will remain the same until unforeseeable future. The dividends will remain the same until unforeseeable future. Until unforeseeable future. And therefore, their theoretical value will be expressed as follows. And therefore, their theoretical value will be expressed as follows. And therefore, their theoretical value will be expressed as follows. Therefore, their theoretical value will be expressed as follows. So PO is going to be equal to D divided by KE. So when you want to get the value of that share, so D is the dividend per share, KE is the cost of the ordinary share. So that's now how you are to calculate, just in case, but I don't have any question from the first paper. So what you do, simply get the dividend, divide by KE. That will give you the value of that ordinary share. So that is now the conclusion on the valuation of the ordinary shares. So we go now to, how did we classify the securities? Just go back. There was variable return securities and fixed return securities. When you are starting, did we classify them? Listen. Yeah, so let us now go to valuation of the fixed return securities. We now go to the valuation of the fixed return securities. Now go to the valuation of the fixed return securities. So we have finished the valuation of the variable return. We have finished the valuation of the variable return. So we now go to valuation of the fixed return securities. Valuation of the fixed return securities. Valuation of the fixed return securities. So we can summarize that these are securities whose returns are fixed, whose returns are fixed, whose returns are fixed. And the fixed rate of return and the fixed rate of return and the fixed rate of return is known as the coupon rate. Is known as the coupon rate. The fixed rate of return is known as the coupon rate. Then we continue by noting that they are classified into two. They are classified into two. They are classified into two. So A would be valuation of the preference shares. Valuation of the preference shares. Valuation of the preference shares as A. B is valuation of the debenture or the bond. Valuation of the debenture or the bond. Valuation of the. So let us start with valuation of the preference shares. We start off with valuation of the preference shares. So when it comes to valuation of the preference shares, you can comment that these are perpetual securities. These are the perpetual securities. These are the perpetual securities, which remains outstanding. Which remains outstanding as long as the company is a going concern. Which remains outstanding as long as the company is a going concern. Which remains outstanding as long as the company is a going concern. Then we continue by writing, it is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. It is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. It is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. So it will be equal to T divided by KB. So it is dividend divided by the cost of. So KB is the cost of the preference share. So there is a question for November 2016, question 4 part B. November 2016, question number 4 part B. November 2016, question number 4 part B. November 2016, question number 4 part B. Question 4 part B. So that question 4 part B, they have said that a firm issued 10% preference shares to raise funds, to raise the funds. The shares have a bar value of shillings 1,100 each and are currently selling at shillings 110 each. And they are currently selling at shillings 110 each. So the minimum required rate of return by the investor is 8%. So required, explain whether the share is overvalued or undervalued by the market. Explain whether the share is overvalued or undervalued by the market. So first, we get the value for the share. So when you get the value for the share, you need to calculate the dividend. You need to compute the dividend. So dividend will be 10% of the par value. And the par value has been given as how much? You're going to see the par value. The share have a par value of shillings 100 each. So the dividend simply gets 10% of that bar value. So what will be 10% of 100? So it will give you 10. So KB is the cost of the preference share. KB should be the cost of the preference share, which was given as how much? The minimum required rate of return by the investors. You see 8%. 8% is now the cost of the preference share. So now from there, your PO is, so D is 10, KB is 0.08. So you get that price of the share. $120, $125. So market price per share was given. It was currently trading at how much? Yeah, so they are said that they are currently selling at least 110 each. So that share is undervalued. The market has given it 110, but the true value is 125. So the question was asking you to explain to them, explain whether the share is overvalued or undervalued by the market. So you see they are referring to the market. So the benchmark is the market. So we comment that the share has been undervalued by the market forces. The share has been undervalued by the market forces. The share has been undervalued by the market forces. So I don't see any other question on the preference share. Let us now go to the next one, which was valuation of the debenture or bond. Let us now go to valuation of debenture or the bond. We now go to valuation of debenture or bond. So also for that, we comment that also for that, we should be able to comment that the bond or debenture is classified into two. The bond or debenture is classified into two. So A will be valuation of irredeemable debenture, valuation of irredeemable debenture, valuation of the irredeemable debenture. Then B is valuation of redeemable debenture. So B should be valuation of redeemable debenture. So we can start with valuation of the irredeemable debenture. We start off with valuation of irredeemable debenture. Valuation of irredeemable debenture. So under that, you will write that these debentures normally remain outstanding. These debentures normally remains outstanding as long as the company is a going concern. These debentures normally remain outstanding as long as the company is a going concern. As long as the company is a going concern. It is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. It is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. It is theoretical value will be expressed as follows. So to get the theoretical value, the value of the debenture will be equal to interest, then divide by 3. So that will be interest per annum. So to get the value for that debenture, simply get the interest per annum divided by KD. So KD is the cost of the debenture or bond. So KD is the cost of the debenture or bond. So even that one, I don't have any question from the past paper. Let us go to B, valuation of redeemable debenture. Let us now go to B as valuation of redeemable debenture. Valuation of redeemable debenture. We now go to valuation of redeemable debenture. What the valuation of redeemable debenture. So under valuation of redeemable debenture, you will write that these are debentures which have a defined maturity period. These are debentures which have a defined maturity period. They are debentures which have a defined maturity period. Their theoretical value will be equal to, their theoretical value will be equal to present value of their theoretical value. So we can say their theoretical value will be expressed as follows. We can say their theoretical value will be expressed as follows. Their theoretical value be expressed as follows. So to get the value of the bond, value of must be equal to value, present value of the interest, present value of the interest. Then we add present value of the maturity value, present value of the maturity value. So when you want to get the value of the bond, simply get present value of the interest, you add present value of the maturity value. So there is a question for May 2016, question 2, part C. There is a question for May 2016, question number 2, part C. May 2016. There is a question number 2, part C. May 2016. There is a question number 2, part C. So that question 2, part C, it reads that James is considering the purchase of a 4-year shillings 1.2 million par value bond. The bond has a company's interest rate of 10% per annum. The investor's required rate of return is 8%. So now required the current value of the bond. So to get the value for the bond, we have said it is present value of the interest. You add the present value of the maturity value. So first, you calculate interest. First, you compute interest per annum. So that interest per annum, simply take what are we given there as the interest rate? The interest rate is meant to be 10%. So you get 10% of the par value, and that par value is 1.2 million. 1.2 million. So it should give us 120. Then maturity value. unless otherwise stated. It's the same as the bar value. Unless the question states another figure, it always remain the bar value. So that's bar value. So this question has not stated any other value. So now we get the present value of the interest. So present value of the interest. It is simply annuity multiplied by the present value interest factor for the annuity. So the question gave you the cost of capital. The question had given the cost of capital. So what are we given as the investor's required rate of return? So it is 8% for how many years? 4 years. So interest is what is there as 120,000. Interest is what is there as 120,000. So 8% of 4 in the annuity table. %8 into 4. You have 3.3. 3.312. So that will give you the present value for the interest. So that should give you the present value of the interest. Then there should also be present value of the maturity value. There should also be the present value of the maturity value. So you simply take that maturity value of 1.2 million, discount it at the present value interest factor, 8% for 4 years. So this one you use the single period table because it only occurs once. Interest is every year for the 4 years, but this one only occurs once. So when you check in the table, it is 0.1. So now you will add them together. They should be able to give you the value of the bond. So when you add them together, it should be in a position to give you the value of the bond. So you can now check another question. This one should be September 2021. September 2021. September 2021. There is a question number 1, part C. September 2021. There is a question number 1, part C. September 2021. There is a question number 1, part C. September 2021. There is a question number 1, part C. So that question 1, part C, the one for Pelt Limited, issued a 16% corporate bond with the above value of shillings 1,000. With the above value of shillings 1,000. So the bond will either be redeemed at 20% premium after 5 years, or convertible into equity at a conversion rate of shillings 100 per 2 ordinary shares. So each ordinary share is currently trading at the Securities Exchange for 50 shillings. For 50 shillings. So it is expected that the share price will increase to at a constant rate of 5% each year. 5% each year. So required. They have asked you to get Roman letter 1. Roman letter 1 is the current value of redeemable bond. Roman letter 2, the current value of convertible bond. So let us start with current value of the redeemable bond. Start by calculating the current value of redeemable bond. So we want to get the current value of redeemable bond. So Roman letter 1 is the current value of redeemable bond. The current value of redeemable bond. So to get the value for the bond, we have said value for the bond be equal to present value of the interest. Then we also add the present value of the maturity value. So first we compute the interest. So interest rate was given. The interest rate was given. They gave you the interest rate of what percent? So 16%. So it is 16% of the bar value or face value. So get 16%. The bar value or face value is 1,000. Give us how much? 16. Then maturity value. They are saying it was redeemed at what price? The bond will either be redeemed at 20% premium. So get 120, when it is a premium you earn. So get 120% of the 1,000. You get the 120% of the 1,000. Sorry, 1,000. So now we start with present value of the interest. Present value of the interest. It is annuity multiplied by the present value interest factor for the annuity. So the question had given you the cost of capital. See the minimum required rate of return. It is 12%. So it was to mature after how many years? 5 years. So take 160, confirm 12% in year 5. 3.60. 3.6048. Then there is also the present value of the maturity value. So present value of the maturity value, we take, so this one we only occur once. So we get 12%. So what is 12% in year 5? 0.5. Yeah, so when you add them together, you now give you the value of redeemable bond. You now give you the value of redeemable bond. So that is our Roman letter 1. That should be your Roman letter 1. So we can now go to the Roman letter 2. Roman letter 2, current value of the convertible bond. We should now get the current value of the convertible bond. So we get the current value of the convertible bond. Current value of convertible bond. Current value of the convertible bond. So what you do first is to get the conversion value. So they have said that the bond will either be redeemed at 20% premium after 5 years or converted into equity at a conversion rate of 100 per 2 ordinary shares, isn't it? So first, get the conversion price per share. So first, get the conversion price per share. Conversion price per share. So the 100 is for 2 shares. You see the 100 for 2 shares. So which means per share will be how much? Per share will be 50. Then get now the number of the ordinary shares from there. We now get the number of the ordinary shares. So number of the ordinary shares get the 1,000. 1,000 is the bar value of the debenture, isn't it? But if you convert it into shares, each share will be 50 shares. So when you take 1,000 divided by 50, it will give us how many shares? Not fair 20. So you get 20 ordinary shares. You get 20 ordinary shares. Then after 5 years, the price is increasing at how much? So get the market price per share in year 5. Market price per share in year 5. So they had said that the price is currently how much? Each ordinary share is currently trading at the Securities Exchange for 50 shares. So you get the 50 shillings, then 1 plus G. G is the growth rate. It is increasing at a rate of what percent? 5. So 5% is the same as 0.05. For how many years? 5. So raise to the power of 5. raised to the power of 5 years. We raised to the power of 5 years so that we now get what is supposed to be the market price per share after 5 years. $63.8. Exactly 8. So 8140. Then 4.
63.8.
That's when you round off to 4 decimal places. But if you round off into 3, it's back to you. So now from there, interest is not changing. Interest will still be 16% of 1,000, which will give us what? So what is changing is now the maturity value. What is changing now be the maturity value. So we converted into 20 ordinary shares. So multiplied by 63.814, because that will be the price per share after 5 years. So interest is not changing. So you get that. So then, 1276. Like that. So then you proceed. So what you are only changing is this maturity value. So this one changed to 1276.28. The rest are not changing. 1276.28. The rest will remain the same. Then get now the value for the bond. So get now the value for the bond based on those details. What is changing is only the maturity value. Interest has not been affected. The cost of capital has not been affected. So you repeat it the way it is. Start with the interest, you record the figures, but now the maturity value you adjust using the 1276.28. So it has given you. So now we can go to another question. May 2015. You can check the question for May 2015. Question number 2, part C. May 2015. There is a question number 2, part C. Mine's on page 65. So May 2015. Question number 2, part C. May 2015. There is a question number 2, part C. Mine's on page 65. Mine is on page 65. So that page 65 is about Levy Limited is currently issuing 9% bond, redeemable at shillings 100 per value in 5 years. Redeemable at shillings 100 per value in 5 years. Alternatively, each bond can be converted on that date into 20 ordinary shares of the company. Current market price per share is 4.45. And this is expected to grow at a rate of 6.5% per annum for the foreseeable future. The company's cost of debt is 7% per annum. So it is required market value of the bond. Roman letter 2, floor value of the bond. Then finally, conversion premium per share. So let us start with the Roman letter 1 as the market value of the bond. The market value of the bond. So I would like us first of all to write something brief about what we mean by the market value of the bond. We can write something brief about what we mean by the market value of the bond. So market value of the bond, we comment that it is the value of the bond. It is the value of the bond where the maturity value, it is the value of the bond where the maturity value is adjusted, where the maturity value is adjusted to reflect. It is the value of the bond where the maturity value is adjusted to reflect the current conditions in the market. It is the value of the bond where the maturity value is adjusted to reflect the current conditions in the market. The current conditions in the market. So we start, it is like that convertible bond. Same as that convertible bond. So we start off by calculating interest. We start off by computing the interest. So interest normally it will not change. Interest normally per annum not change. So interest rate was given us what percent? 9%. 9%. So the bar one is 100. So what is 9% of 100? 9 ama 90? Should be 9. Yeah. So that should give you interest per annum. Then the bond was converted into 20 ordinary shares. So we also get market price per share in year 5. So market price per share, currently the price is 4.45. It's 4.45. So it is growing at what percent? Is growing at 6.5%. You have seen the 6.5%. So that will sum at 0.06. 5. Then is 5 years. Six point zero 969. 6.0969. Then now after that to get the maturity value, get now the maturity So it was converted into how many ordinary shares? Take 26.0969. So that we get now the maturity value. So we are looking for the value for the bond. We start with the present value of the interest. So to get the present value for the interest, simply take the annuity multiplied by the present value interest factor for the annuity. So the cost of capital is given as 7%. Able to see 7%. So 7% for 5 years. So interest was 9. So you confirm in the table. What should be 7% in year 5? 4.1. So after that, now also compute present value of the maturity value, present value of the maturity. So present value of the maturity value. So maturity value is the 151.938. So present value interest factor 7% for 5 years. So you simply take 151.938. So confirm what is 7% in year 5. 0.71. 30. So you add them together. That give you the value for the bond. That they would the value for the bond. So that is now our Roman letter 1. So we go to the Roman letter 2. Roman letter 2 is floor value of the bond. The floor value of the bond. So you can comment something about the floor value of the bond. You can comment something about the floor value of the bond. So floor value of the bond, you write that it is the value of the bond. It is the value of the bond where the maturity value is the same as the bar value or face value. It is the value of the bond where the maturity value is the same as the bar value or the face value of the bond. It's the same as the bar value or the face value of the bond. So when it comes to this point, interest is not affected. So interest is not affected. What has been affected is only the maturity value. So maturity value is the same as the bar value. So that bar value is 100. Remember? The bar value is 100. Yeah, so maturity value is the same as the bar value. So all those things will remain. You only change this figure. Yeah, The difference is only on the maturity band. The difference is only on the maturity. The rest of the details remain. So now we go to the Roman letter 3, conversion premium per share. Conversion premium per share. So when you want to get the premium, when you want to compute the premium, so the premium is supposed to be given by, so the share premium you simply take the market value, get the market value. Simply take the market value. You subtract the current conversion value. The current conversion value. So this one is the conversion premium for conversion. So to get the conversion premium, you simply get market value minus the current conversion value. So the only thing that you are computing is the current conversion value. Current conversion value. So for the current conversion value, we know that it was converted into 20 ordinary shares, and currently each share is selling at 4.0. So multiplied by 4.4. Exactly 89. So now to get the conversion rate, so that conversion. So Roman letter 1, what was the market value? Roman letter 1, we calculated the market value for the bond. But how much? Sorry? We add the interest, no maturity value. Put 123. This 123. 123 point
8436.
8436 levels. Online, you got that figure. Roman letter 1. Were you able to get to 123.8436? So now you minus the current, which is 8 and 9. But remember to divide by 20 ordinary shares because they wanted to get the conversion premium per share. They wanted you to get the conversion premium per share. To get the conversion premium per share. That's the conversion premium per share. So that's now the conclusion of that part of valuation of the security. That's now the conclusion on that part of the valuation of the security. So the next topic will be cost of capital. So the next topic now be cost of capital. So I will forward for you some short notes on the ratios. Ulifanya ratios somewhere. Mmeshasoma some ratios. Financial accounting. Not this one, but I know mwalimu atapitia. But was it section 1? I'm the one on ratios. Yeah, but I will send you some notes, a summarized one, because for this one, it's not that much complicated. I will just give you the summary of the formulas. Then I will also attach some few questions on it that have been examined. Then you check. In case of any issue, we should be able to come up with that. So when we start now in our next class, we are going to start on a new topic, which is supposed to be the cost of capital. So I will forward some notes on the ratios. You go through them. I'll also give you some few suggested solutions for those questions. You also go through them. In case of anything, we shall see what we can do. So that by next week, we should be able to finish so that you also go and do your own preparation for the exam. So when are you starting your exams?